Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video, and as you can see we're back in black today for what should be the end of Phil Clement's managerial career at our football club, as the curtain has truly came down in an emphatic way as Rangers are knocked out of the cup at home at Ibrox versus middle of the road, middle of the pack Queen's Park, who sit 5th in the championship, a whopping 20 points behind league leaders Falkirk, who have just saluted their way in to the next round. If that's no the biggest slap in the face, and if that's no the biggest indication that this just isn't going to work, I truly don't know what is. And look, I know that's going to be uncomfortable for a lot of people that's watching today's video, because I know by your vocal comments how many people really like Clement, and you know what I mean, I've been sort of nipping at me here, there and everywhere over the last wee while, but again I always try to be fair right here on the channel. I mean, how many times, if you watch this channel regularly, whether we win or lose, I'll say, you know, my opinions on Clement, but he's done this, right? And I usually give praise when praise needs to be given, because to me, when you do something right, you should get praise, you know what I mean? But also, an equal to that, when you do stuff wrong, you've got to be criticised. And unfortunately for every Rangers fan on this planet, there's been a hell of a lot more to criticise than praise, which is why we're where we're at. But before we do continue to dissect what is the failures both on and off the park at this football club, a wee quick word about Queen's Park, because it's going to probably be a wee while before we get to the game recap. I thought they were great at what they were able to do, you know what I mean? They clearly sense where our weaknesses are. A low block and parking the bus, you know, the thing we face 9 times out of 10 every week domestically, that we still have absolutely no idea how to break down. We have still not created a formation or a work rate or wee patterns they play to break that down, and we are still as clueless at where we are now, despite our failures and despite our beatdowns and despite our warning signs, than we were a year ago when we started to fold and we blew a league title after being handed a great position as Celtic were stuttering last year. We are still utterly clueless, and Queen's Park knew that despite their dodgy form. I mean, they've only picked up, I think, over the last 6 games, only 2 teams have picked up less points than Queen's Park, so they're not exactly firing on all cylinders, and you can't start talking around and trying to defend Clement or these players a different way. This is a team that is struggling in the championship, but again in a one-off fight, in a one-off cup games, about who wants to throw their body on the line and who actually really wants it. And I thought Queen's Park outfought us in a lot of areas. Again, they're not going to dominate the stats. They're not saying, oh, when you look at the shots, you're like, I didn't care about that. The only stat that's ever mattered in football, it's none of the stats and statistics and the goals and advantage and expecting, none of that matters. The only stat that matters is the scoreline, and Queen's Park won that battle. And again, a lot of that is down to the gloves of Ferry, who was absolutely sensational. Clearly a career performance, if you will, and he'll never play that good again. But again, you've got to give credit for what they did, is everything they could have done for this game, they go and they came up against a Rangers side that was just like, oh, low block, I don't know what to do. And Clement again has reverted back, again went backwards and tried to force the formation and style of play he wants to play, which is just the one striker on the park. He wants to have that wee calm there, he wants to do all that stuff, despite it being continually shown all season long that it doesn't work. And some of his best performances this season, best results, have came when he has been stripped away for that stuff, you know what I mean? Because people keep saying, oh, Clement's turning a corner, he's not turning none. Ladies and gentlemen, he's only playing with 2 strikers on the park because the registrations in Europe, or people were suspended, or people's been injured. The one consistent thing Phil Clement has shown every Rangers fan, in my personal opinion, is that this formation is what he wants to play. This style of football with the personnel here, there and everywhere is what he wants for his team. This is it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no developing this, or we're working this out, or we've identified this. We've actually seen some success, and we've actually found ways to beat a low block. It's flooding the middle, it's getting 2 strikers on the park, it's occupying defenders, that allows the free runners of the midfield, the Diamandis and everything like that. It's all that right there, but he is continually shown when everyone's fit and healthy, he's no interested in it, ladies and gentlemen. So we are tying our future up, and we are pledging our future to someone that again has got complete blinders on to what's ever going to bring this club a success. And I know there is a lot of Clement defenders. I know he's a nice guy and you always want people to succeed. I wanted him to succeed. Even a sick part of me, the new, still doesn't believe we'll no sack him. So I still want him to turn it around, and I'll look like a diddy that I probably am, ladies and gentlemen. But I just believe what I believe, and I just didn't trust him. If I'm honest, I didn't trust the process. I didn't trust the rebuild. I didn't trust the people in the boardroom. I didn't trust them to get this right, because I'm seeing zero evidence of evolution or figuring this out or doing that, because we still prioritise all the wrong stuff, right? And if you sit back and look at it, we've had some great result under Clement, and even under previous managers that we've had over the last couple of years, right? And a lot of that has been in European football, and I'm no daft enough not to understand that European football is vital for this club because of the way we've mishandled our finances and wasted our wages and signed some absolute duffers to ridiculous contracts that we need to pay clubs or take bites on, so they come and play our players for 6 months because we didn't want to play them and nobody else wants to pay them our wages, right? I know we've made so many costly mistakes, so the European football is vital, but see this short-term mentality of that's what we need to do and that's what we need to build our team, we need to practice, we need to train that so we can do well in Europe, is all completely backwards in my personal opinion, because what we should actually be doing is moving away from just prioritising Europe and building a team for Europe or making sure we can do this in Europe, because the European journeys are great, and look, we've loved it going here on the channels when we've loved talking about them, we've had some great memories, but see, if we're just being blunt and if we're just being harsh, what have we got to show for a lot of this stuff? Very, very little. Even the wonderful time gone to Seville and the incredible journeys and the memories we've made for a lifetime, some of the celebrations that we lost the game at the end of it, we never got the trophy, ladies and gentlemen. And I didn't want to continually be the team that's just, the sure luck, or oh, we're just happy to be there, or we had a good in Europe. I want to see my team get back to doing what they did when I was growing up, and when I was watching this team growing up there, seeing them winning trophies and winning silverwares, competing for this and being a team that used to be built on winning. And I think if we actually start to figure out and identify what the real problem is we still, to this day, under this exact manager, haven't prioritised figuring out Scottish football and figuring out how to get back to dominating and winning Scottish football, because the money coming into the club and money doing this isn't for the odd European journey here or there, and it's no building random clubs in and around Ibrox. You know where the money should be coming from. What we should be prioritising is building a team that's winning domestic competitions, that's winning league titles, that's getting automatic qualifications to Champions Leagues every single year, pocketing that money. Then you can start doing all the rest of the crap. Then you can start building this and that. You've got to get it right in Scottish football. That's where the future has to be. But again, off the park and on the park, I keep continually see us do the exact same guff. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know how to play against part of us. We still didn't understand how to break down the low block. So what the hell are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Because truly didn't understand it. This is absolutely horrendous. It's torture to work. You get one good, you get two bad, you get one good, you get two bad, and this is just the cycle we're in. The day we get someone into this dugout that actually prioritises figuring out the low block and actually makes some sort of notion or some sort of formation or some sort of style to play that rips that to shred the way that Celtic does, it's not an impossible task I'm talking about here, you know what I mean? Like, I know Celtic's got a lot of advantages and everything with their finances now because they've been winning league trophies, but again, we had the opportunity after winning 55 to do that, but we wasted money elsewhere building stuff and doing this rather than putting the fit down and do it. Gerrard wanders completely, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't hear the warnings, we didn't hear it. He left, we didn't do it with Gio either. He ended up failing as well because he couldn't figure out the domestic stuff, and it's the exact same cycle. But the day that we finally get a formation and a style and a manager that goes about their business the way across the city that people didn't even want to mention right here, we start playing that way, we start ripping teams to shreds, we start playing attacking football rather than possession football, and maybe, just maybe, we'll eventually get back to being a successful football team. Until then, we'll just be what we are, stumbling about in the dark, relying on European Thursdays to give us something. That's how I feel about everything regarding the game and everything like that, and where we're going as a club, on and off the park. I thought the players were embarrassing as well. I don't know how much I've mentioned it or how much I'm going to need to cut this down, because it does feel like I've been talking for a long time, but we can keep talking about the failure that is Phil Clement. But I'm not surprised. that he doesn't know what he's doing. I said it months ago, he doesn't know what he's doing, right? But, you know, he's there, he's here, he's been backed. I've got to go with it. He's a Rangers manager. It's never personal. I just want my team to be a success. But again, the Samians have gone here. The line, we just got ran off the park by a team in the Championship. Now, I know we had loads of shots and we've done this and the keeper had a world day and everything like that. But again, you've still got to have enough in you to overcome that and grab a game to get it. But I'm seeing the same stuff and I'm seeing the game pander out the way that it's came on. You know what I mean? Just no good enough, no brave enough, and big players missing and big moments as well. I mean, the end of the game, Dessers misses a one-on-one. You know what I mean? The window's shut. The purple patch is done. He's a nice guy. We all love nice guys. But what's it saying about nice guys? They finished last. Well, the purple patch is over. Dessers misses a 1v1 and they were knocked out of cup competitions. But it'll be nice in a presser next week. So it's all sunshines and rainbows. And then Tavernier again, which absolutely sucks because I really like the laddie, but he steps up there with a penalty kick, and no matter what you say, worldy for the keeper or no, when you've got a chance to grab your team and drag them out the shitter like that, the way he's done many times in his Rangers career, by the way, you've got to step up and take it. But he never, ladies and gentlemen. And those two of our most experienced players on the part there that's supposed to be the blending with the youth and helping. Because I'm seeing people turn on Eggman now. Do you know, remember how we say it's all peaks and valleys with young players and they'll go up and they'll go down and they'll go... That's not just a saying. It will go up and it will go down. Right, he was red hot last month. Then he was a winger for a game. Then he was behind a cam. Then we prioritised Dessers because he was so over him. So he's lost a wee bit his confidence. But again, he still created major opportunities. He still slid Dessers through on goal. So we can't really just keep picking and blaming young players are trying to turn it into there. There's experienced players in there and they've came up short. But again, who are we looking at? Dessers and Tav. What we talked about all season. You know exactly where I'm going, but we're tying it not only with the players on the part, but we're tying our future to the end in the dugout. It's just not good enough anymore. But again, that's enough of talking around the game and around the main problems for the season, because we're here to talk about Rangers now, Queen's Park 1. So let's actually go ahead and get into it, because again, we've talked about a couple players, but again, if you stay with the video, you hear the rest of them mentioned, because nobody really played well today. They had moments and wee bits and iffies, but it was just so stale and so boring, and I can't help but sit and look at it. Again, I never hated the starting 11. I'll be honest, I did make a mistake though, because when I scanned it and everything, I'm looking, I'm seeing Raphael start, I'm seeing Baylor Rice, I'm seeing Chen and Eggman, I'm going, yeah, that's cool, I'm happy with that, right? And I just was happy because I thought again we were staying with the two strikers. That's a my bad on that aspect, because I thought at home versus Championship side, let's put the fit down here. You know, Clement's talking about learning for lessons and blah blah blah, and putting the fit down, it'll be a mixture of youth and experience. I thought, yeah, I'll be alright that. So I assumed we were playing two up top. That's my bad, ladies and gentlemen. I thought that corner had been turned. Silly CJ, but going into the game again, it pandered out the way that it did. It was slow, it was stale, it was boring. Yes, we had opportunities, but again, how did the opportunities come about? Usually through individual moments and individual players stepping up and having a shot for a range or trying to do this themselves. There's no actual way you could sit and say, aye, that's a Rangers team. I mentioned this example a couple of times, but Bournemouth, who have had a hell of a lot of injuries this season. Now I know they've got a lot of money, but if you just look at the players that they've lost, the £40 million striker, the backup £20 million striker, the third striker, they're having to play wingers up front and wingers out of position. But the way we've had today, a lot of games, but they're structured in a way that it all panders out the exact same way, and the play is the exact same. The players know exactly where to be, and they know exactly what to do. I look at structure like that, and I look at teams going and playing football like that, and then I go back to look at Rangers, and it just looks like the inmates are running the asylum, because it's completely all over the place, and it's just kick it to Hadji, hope he does, son. Kick it to Diamandi, hope he does, son. Let's just kick it to Eggman and hope he does, son. Kick it to Cherny, he'll beat somebody. That's the way it panders out and plays every single game, sprinkled with a couple passes between a centre half and a couple long balls. It's the exact same crap air and air again, and that's a lot of the first half that was absolutely rotten and silly me again. I thought, by God, it can't get much worse than that. Ken, what the sad part is? It was. But before we do move on to the second half, we should have scored a couple goals in the game. The first minute, actually, Ferry did make a mistake as he passes the ball directly to Diamandi, who could probably take a touch, could maybe slip it to Eggman, but he tries a first-time shot after being given a gift for the goalie. Doesn't get it on target, and that is a sair one. That's chance one. And I just think, imagine the parallel universe and the wee breakaway butterfly effect. If Ferry has that mistake at that moment, cause his team at goal, is he gone on to have the game he does? You never know, ladies and gentlemen, but it's a sliding doors moment, Gwyneth Paltrow style, but we feed that guy some easy saves with a couple shots and let him calm himself, compose himself, and start to turn it on. And that he did, ladies and gentlemen. The one with Cherny where Barami plays. Barami played today. You know, but anyway, pass the ball to Cherny. Cherny runs in. He's got Diamandi and Eggman screaming. Please go and watch Eggman's movement there. You know what I mean? I know I'm a wee bit an Eggman, but it's such good striker plays. He fakes the back, comes to the front. It's right there, and a player like Cherny's got to then just pass to him. A player like Barami, who has the exact same opportunity, has got to pick him out, but he tries the shot. Cherny. It's a very good save for Ferry, and then Barami is also then crossed over right to the back post, and then a player of that experience, right? And I'm saying experience, he's played in Euros and all this stuff, and he's played in the Serie A, etc, etc. The money he's on as well. The ball gets drifted right to him, and he does well initially, beats his man, gets his head up. Again, Eggman, he's no hiding, he's nowhere here, you know what I mean? He makes a move, he's right here in front of goal, he's wide on, he's screaming for it, he's got his hand down, and Barami just batters it that hard across the box that Barry Allen couldn't go ahead and get to the ball. What a waste that is, as well as he just smashes it across the goal, aiming at nobody. Again, and Tavernier done about 2 or 3 of the exact same thing. Hadji done one as well, by the way, where he just fired it across. I don't know if that's a tactic, but nobody's actually looking up and trying to pick out passes. It's just smashing balls and home, which is actually a perfect summary now that I've stumbled upon that to the way we play. It's just hitting and home. That's what we do. The only player actually in the entire first 45 minutes to actually get their head up and pick somebody out was, no surprise, it's Hadji, and that's a boy that was banished again off the park and wasn't wanted, but has forced his way in to the starting 11 as he beats his man, picks out Diamandi. To be fair, Dio hits this one on target, and it's a very good save for Ferry, but that's it for the first half. You know what I mean? Dio had a shot that was just wide as well towards the end, and Cherny cut inside and forced a save, but that was it for the first 45 minutes. There was just no zip in the play. There was nothing exciting. It was flat on the park, so it was flat in the stands, and a job especially at home is to entertain and excite the fans. That's what we continually, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's gone, ladies and gentlemen. There's just no excitement there because there's nothing in the way we play football. There's none, unless it's kicking it to Eggman, unless it's kicking it to Cherny. It's none to get arse off seats because it's the same slop we get fed time and time again. Just keeping the ball for keeping its sake, no knowing what to do. Is Queen's Park for every ball that came in, bang header, tackle here, sit in for straight Rangers, and play on the counter-attack. It's just that easy, and every team in this country does it. But Clueless is what Clueless does, and that was Clement as he goes ahead and makes a double substitution at half-time. Again, ripping up whatever game plan he had put in place again, which must be getting near a record for the amount of subs we've had to make at half-time and ripping up game plans because it's no actual work. And the starting 11s he picks are often very, very poor unless there's injuries and suspensions and he's forced to play certain players, and then it seems to work out. I've never seen any like, and it's maddening. The mere options he's got, the worse his 11s become. And this aside, it was against the Championship, but again, even in saying that, the starting 11 should have been good enough, but there's just no style of play. Nobody knows what they're doing. They're all just showing for the ball. It's just a circle and cycle of failure. I mean, that's the best way I could put it. But the double substitution happened. Bailey Rice comes off and Barami. Feel a wee bit bad for Bailey Rice. Again, he never done too much wrong, but he never done too much right either, as he was just again a symptom in getting the ball, passing off, getting the ball, passing off. There was one where he had a kind of half volley as Tavernier whipped in across and he picked out Dio, but Dio's wee swivel shot ended up going wide. If that goes in, it's a wonderful assist, even though I think it was a shot that he missed it, but I'd give it to the laddie if he got an assist. But we've seen young players get ripped off at half time because of the team failing to break down a low block. That was Eggman's first couple games. We've seen it with other players time and time again, and it was Bailey Rice's turn now to get the opportunity and then get embarrassed and ripped off at half time because again the team's not succeeding against a low block. Eggman says hello, as that was his first 3 games for his football club, flung under the old bus. But Barami came off and he needed to come off. That was again a disgusting effort, and I want to like him as well because he does show the odd wee moments, but his decision making, I don't know if his head's gone or his confidence gone or if he's just been beat down or we're not playing to his strengths. But if anyone is still watching this video, I know it's been on far too long, like, what are you rating the signing out of Barami out of 10? Just please let me know in the comment section if you are still here, because I don't know anymore. He started off hot, he's fell away, but you're supposed to bounce back. There's been nae bounce back, and he was absolutely rotten. And you look at that from the optics of, we're subbing off Bailey Rice, who's barely kicked a ball for us, and Barami, and I'm actually more sad about Bailey Rice coming off the park rather than a creative attacking force the likes of Barami. That's how bad that lad's been. But again, we did revert back to the 2 up top formation. Dessers ends up coming on the park. Egeman gets dropped 1 in behind again. I think, right, at least this formation or style does make defenders can't just gang up on a player or crowd a player, as there's 2 strikers moving about, and it usually or often has this season created space for runners to fill into. So I thought, right, here's some chances. And the chances came right away. Again, the 2 strikers just occupying defenders, causing that space, allowing Tavernier to gallop in. Wonderful ball for Raskin, right to Tavernier. But again, instead of Tav picking out a man or taking a bit of composure, just whoosh, volleys it right to Nabde and he's gone. But who's that for? Like, honestly, who is that cross for? I would love to actually know. Nobody could get on the unit. That was a badging. And then you had a wee bit of build-up play from Diamande, Egeman and Raskin. Nice wee pass, wee reverse, back heel for, I think, or no, sorry, misses the shot, but I'm going to call it like a wee nutmeg, and it goes to Egeman, but Egeman ends up ballooning it out of the bar. But at least it was something you're thinking, right. But then the first warning sign came in. How did it come? The exact same way. It always comes against these low block sides. Now, this is Zach Rudden, former Rangers player Zach Rudden. Comes deep. The big solo... Stay with me. The big solo striker coming short, holding the ball up, and then turning and hitting a pass for a fast winger to run into the space that Tavernier has abandoned down the right hand side. It's playbook 1. You know what I mean? It's the most obvious audible that anyone will ever call. It's the first play on every part of the bus side, yet it tears us open once a game, every single game. Zach plays it in there. Tavernier's nowhere to be seen. He's chasing a cart horse back there. Ball comes in, and thankfully the striker who's sliding in behind Zach Rudden doesn't get enough on it, or they're busting net, 53 minutes into the game. That was the chance, and that was the warning sign for Rangers to turn it up. But did we? No. What eventually did happen, however, was another double substitution. The second double substitution of the second half, around about the 60th minute, as Hadji comes off, and so does Rafael Fernandez coming off for John Souttar and Ridvan Yilmaz, right? And I know, great story. Love seeing him bounce back after what happened in the cup final. Had a very good game versus Celtic. That was the time to say goodbye, pack him in his miniature suitcase and send him on his way. This guy drives me up the wall because he can't pass, he can't cross, and he just shoots everything. You know what I mean? He's dreadful. And to have him come in to the attacking areas where we are struggling to break down apart the bus side for a guy like Hadji is ludicrous and ridiculous to me now. Hadji never had his best game or anything, but think of the moments Hadji was on and what he created, or some of the stuff he done, beating his fullback and putting dangerous crosses in there. To then take him off when he's had a week off, ladies and gentlemen. For Ridvan Yilmaz to play out of position, by God, it's absolute dross. It really is. And maybe the perfect summary is that is about 10-15 minutes later, brilliant wee bit of play for Egeman and Dessers. Dessers plays it back to Egeman. Egeman slides it out. It drops to Ridvan. And what does Ridvan do? Hits it air the stadium for about 6-7 yards out. I just wish Hadji was on the park for that moment, and you're maybe looking at something a little bit better. But playing an erratic, chaotic left back as your left winger and one of your main attacking outlets is always going to see that rashness in front of goal, as he's never once showed us he's got composure, or never once showed us he can break down apart the bus side. So why the hell are we playing him? Especially for a guy like Hadji. Surely Hadji is the type of player, whether Hadji or Cherny are selling the buses or playing absolute dross, when you are getting beat in a cup game, ladies and gentlemen, or even struggling up at that point because we want to bet and beat just. Yeah, that's right, we submerged defenders on, then we went to concede. By God, it's a genius move for Phil Clement. But even in a game you're struggling, you're wanting some of your most creative players to at least still be on the park. But we weakened our team, and it only benefited the opposition, and they soon made us pay. Now, shortly before the moment did happen in the game, we do actually have a corner from Cherny, hits the front post to Egeman. Egeman gets the old shot on target, but then you're talking about the other end. John Souttar gets took to the clear. We're like, why are we subbing? I know we're building him up. Give him 10 minutes at the end of the game. Why are we disrupting the centre back position at I don't know, maybe I'm just moaning for the sake of it. But anyway, he gets his pants pulled down, cuts inside, the whip a ball on. Zach Rodden ends up heading it off Tavernier's. Tavernier's up challenge. A big Zach's a handful, so I thought Tavernier done alright there. Then the corner comes in, and by God, it's absolutely horrendously defending. Now, I'm not sure who gets the initial header on it. It might be Proper. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, we header it sort of just back into our own area. The boy brings it down. He sets up Jeffy, sells him to the cleaners as well, cuts in, and it's just a beautiful open the body shot up, tucking it under the goalie. Do you know what I mean? The exact same chance, the exact same point for point, picture by picture that Ridvan had that ballooned it early bar. They've actually got an attack-minded player in there, and he tucks it under the keeper perfectly, and it's 1-0 to Queen's Park. Now, again, it was their official first shot on target, and you can say, oh, it's unlucky, oh, it's unlucky, but where does the point does it stop being unlucky, and it just starts to become, we're not really very good. But again, defensively, I think Suter was dreadful, and again, defensively, I thought Jeffy was dreadful for the way he got turned inside out. But again, he's a young laddie. Ups and downs. We've got to accept that when these guys are actually playing games of football, because that's what we're going to see. It's not just a line, and it's no just a saying. If you're wanting young players to play, you've got to give them an opportunity to succeed and fail. You've got to learn for these moments, and that's maybe why I feel bad for Bailey Rice, and that's why I said what I said when Eggman was getting the Bailey Rice treatment. He hauled off at half time. Let the lads learn on the part. Ripping them off at half time, making them feel like they're a part of the problem or one of the problem, isn't doing nothing for need. It's just poor management, and I've said it for many times. But anyway, 1-0 to Queen's Park. It's absolutely infuriating, and honestly, at that point, I never thought we were coming back in it. And that's how much I've been beat down watching this Rangers team. You know what I mean? Our statistics in terms of coming back into the game after falling into the lead was horrific. We finally done one the other day, but this coming into it was just looking at the game and watching the partner play, and it just looked, again, clueless and just empty. And that's the way it should never be with Rangers. But again, the response was so empty and the response was so lifeless. Nothing happened for over 10 minutes of football, but we had a lot of the possession, though, so that's what matters these days, obviously. But anyway, 82nd minute comes, we have a shot for Cherny. Well saved for the goalie. We end up subbing on Tom Lawrence to come into the game, which again I didn't hate. But again, you're bringing on somebody that's no kicked a ball and is barely fit or anything like that to add some creativity, whilst we ripped off our most creative player earlier in the game for a fullback. Do you see what I'm saying here? It's ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. But we end up having a couple of wee shots here or there. There's one where some good up play. Iggaman, I thought, ended the game better than he started it, because again he was drifting out, but I'm expecting that for a young player. He's drifting out it, but he runs all the way back to the right back position, puts in a challenge, wins it, drives with the football, gets forward, plays a wee 1-2 again with Dessers. He then slips it to Raskin, but Raskin shots a mile air the bar. Actually, I was going to talk about the quick free kick, but I'm pretty sure that happens later on. What was next actually was a couple set pieces coming in to sort of name day and nothing, and I think that annoyed me in the 90th minute. And again, I think I'm losing my mind here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Iggaman doing the short corners and whipping crosses in. You know what I mean? We've got Iggaman, our most lethal finisher, the current player of the month in Scottish football, out wide facilitating crosses. Like, what are we doing, man? But anyway, after a couple useless set pieces, we eventually put the ball in the mixer. Tavernier does actually get to a header. He does it down, but he's headering it to Robin Proper, because that's where we're prioritising, and Proper's trying overhead kicks. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I mean? It's well defended again, by the way. Tavernier has a shot that nearly knocks a ball out, and you're thinking, oh God, this is just getting worse and worse and worse. But Iggaman gets on the ball again, brings it down, he gets fouled, but right back up, beautiful play, plays to Cherny. Cherny has a shot that's saved again, brilliantly by the goalie, if I'm honest. Big, strong palm on it, but you're thinking, right. And then Iggaman, wee flick with the outside boot, plays in Dessers, everyone's favourite, everyone's flavour of the month. The window's shut now, though, nobody can buy him now, he's back to normal. 1v1. In the biggest moment again, his Achilles heel the entire Rangers career. It's a major moment that's came and gone from Big CD number 9 as he gets through on goal, tries to go too wide, takes too long to hit it. There's no real composure, and he just forces the keeper into a save, and it's really, really poor. And I know people say, oh, you're being too harsh here, etc, etc, but I just feel like we need to start being harsher, man, or we're just going to continue to see this club be second best and continue to be failures. You know what I mean? That is a chance in the 90th minute, 1v1 with a keeper, when we are getting beat and about to be embarrassed for the first time in 60 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to be harsh. We need to take that chance, but again, the window's shut, the purple patch is finished, and he's back to what CD9 previously is, and that is nice, guys. Dessers that we all want to do well, but can he take the big moment when we actually need it, or more consistently? Because he actually done well for United, and that proved to be a massive, massive goal for 4 minutes, but we lost the game, so it means nothing. But that's what I'm talking about. The biggest and best moments for Dessers usually comes in games that didn't really mean nothing. This was a moment. I need my number. This is the guy that's getting prioritised. This is the guy we're developing as the number 9 for Rangers, and weakening and ruining the confidence of the likes of Barami, playing him. Egeman, behind Dessers. This is the guy we're facilitating as we're rooting out number 9. The chance came and the chance missed, and I know I'm maybe being too harsh, and maybe I will look at it later, but I just feel like when you play your number 9 through and goal in the 90th minute of the game, 1-0 down to a championship side in a cup competition, I've got the right to be pissed off that he missed it, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm sure you'll tell me down in the comment section I'm completely wrong, but it's just poor for Dessers, but that's the way it goes. Egeman then has a shot that's well saved by the goalie. Cheney then has a shot that's well saved by the goalie. It starts to look like it's not going to be our day. We whip in a set piece, it's coming to Dessers, gets shoved on the back. I think it is a penalty. We checked for a penalty earlier as well where it hit somebody's hand, and I know it does hit his hand, but it's not a penalty for me. See if somebody slides and it hits off his bit, then hits his hand. No, for me, ladies and gentlemen, especially when the hand's down. So I feel like they got that one right, and I feel like they got the Dessers one right. As the ball's coming to them, it's just a team that's gave everything, they're knacker, and it's rash, ladies and gentlemen. And then up steps James Henry Tavernier, who's got the opportunity to drag this team out of the shitter, and he ends up going the opposite way for he usually does, and misses, and Ferry does do a fantastic save. And again, it's one of the ones, do you say it's a miss or do you say it's saved? It depends how you want to look at it, but I'm a Rangers fan, so he obviously did miss it, but I can understand it's a fantastic save for Ferry as well. No questions about if he was off his line or anything like that. Tavernier has got to put that in the back of net. As harsh as it is, I'm being as harsh as I am with Dessers, these are most experienced players that's been about in football. Both of them had an opportunity to drag this game and get us back at level with the game, and both of them has missed it, and both of them has been a major talking point with every single Rangers fan all season long about being moved on or phased out. But again, we're relying on them, and they've played well recently, but another big moments came, both of them has missed, and we are down on our knees again. But it just seems like we do that, you know what I mean? The Taverniers, the Dessers, we get behind them. The Clement, we're getting behind. It's just like, it's just so short-sighted, in my personal opinion. The priority has got to be the younger lad. The priority has got to be Egeman playing as a number 9. Then you figure out other people out of position. Then you're trying to everything. But it seems to be cart before the horse style stuff with Rangers, and it's bled all over the place. The keeper then goes on to make 2 other saves, by the way, from set pieces. One of them, I think, for John Suter. Wonderful for the goalie again, but that is it. That is the game, set and match, ladies and gentlemen. That is Rangers 0, Queen's Park 1. Brilliant result for him, brilliant goalkeeping performance, etc, etc. But it's a very similar story and the exact same crap as we've seen, you know what I mean? But aye, we got beat today, but we'll win a couple games, and that'll be good enough to this board. That'll be good enough to this manager. They're so far off it, I don't know where and what planet they're actually on. But that's my opinion on it, ladies and gentlemen. I'd love to know your opinions. Let me know down there in the old comment section below. And until next time, I've been Siege92. I might see you soon, might see you later. If not, enjoy the Super Bowl, whatever your day in the night. But until then, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. All the best, and bye-bye.